When you're editing your menu for the week, you're going to see breakfast at the top, lunch will be in the middle in a different color, and dinner will be at the bottom. And there's going to be categories. There's going to be fruits and vegetables and entrees and so on. And you can have as many entries in any category you want. So for example, on this template, for lunch, I just have one of everything. But for breakfast, I wanted to have some more entrees and breakfast sides. And when you see this icon up here that says add entree, it just means that your profile is set up to add extra entrees. And on this one, I wanted 3 entrees. So I just click on it when I want to see it. And then I can click on the down arrow and I can add my second entree. And I have an option for a third one to the way the profile is set up. Now to change the menu, all you do is click on the particular recipe you want to change. So I'm going to click on green salad for my starter. And it'll pop open the default recipe. And below the green salad is a list of alternatives to consider. These are just suggestions, and you can hover over each one and look at them. And if one of them interests you, you can click on it and make that your choice, and it'll save it automatically for you. Also, when I click on this particular recipe, you can do substitutes. So every recipe will have substitutes, and you just hover your mouse over it. Now this one has 2 substitutes that I could consider doing. If I'm doing like the green salad, and I want to look at the substitutes for that, there's a whole bunch of them. You can scroll through them, and then just pick something that you want to do, and again it'll save it automatically. If I do not want a starter, for example, I can say no option, and when I do that, it just means it will not show up on your menu. So anytime you see the word no option on your weekly menu, it just means it hasn't been selected. You certainly could do the down arrow and see what choices there are. And then lastly, you can search the database and pick something different for a starter. So let's say I'd like to have something that has tomato in its title. And I'm going to type in tomato here, and it's searching the database, pulling all the recipes up that have tomato in its title. And again, I can look through the alternates or the substitutes, and when I find what I want, I can click on it and make that my choice. Now, when you're not on a dietitian-approved menu, you can change these recipes to be anything you want, and you will not get in any errors. If you are on a dietitian-approved menu, it's going to watch what you do, and if you get out of bounds nutritionally, it's going to stop you and warn you. So for example, when I click on the vegetable and I say no option, it's going to give me an error and say you must offer vegetables. So I'll need to correct that, and I'm just going to go ahead and add the vegetable back in. And you're going to see different types of errors and messages. It'll explain it, and then you'll need to correct it. If at any time you're not sure how to correct it, you just want to go to the dietitian default, you can click on reset meal. It'll warn you that it's going to reset it back to the defaults, and I'll say OK, and it'll correct that for me. Now in the upper right hand corner, I can tell the program how many people I'm serving, and this is going to include staff, and it's going to scale my recipes and my shopping list. So I'm going to change this to 50. And after I click on 50, I just click anywhere else on the screen. It'll refresh my screen, and you'll notice to the right of all the recipes it's going to say 50. Except on this one that I had 2 entrees, it just divides it in half and do 25 and 25. But you most likely will want this more accurate number of how many people are going to actually take it. So maybe on the oatmeal, I think that 35 people will take that, and the hash browns, let's say 20. You can type any number you want. It's just going to override it. So again, when I print these recipes, they'll scale to what it says there, and it'll affect my shopping list. You'll see that as you're making changes to your menu that there is a total here for breakfast, a dollar total, for lunch and dinner. Those are subtotals. At the bottom is the price per resident per day. And when you click on these down arrows and look at your options, you'll see a serving size price. So right here on each one, you'll see the serving size price. So this just helps you have a feel for how much it's costing. The last thing I want to show you on the screen is special events. So every meal you can do a special event, and let's say for lunch I'd like to do one. So I'm going to click on this. Now a special event for those that are on a dietitian-approved menu, you only get 3 special events in a 30-day period. And after those 3 days are up, it'll expire and you'll get them back. If you're not on a dietitian-approved menu, you can do as many as you want. So this one, I'm on a dietitian-approved menu, so I'm going to say OK. And there's going to be override and theme type of special events. Override means you can type whatever you want here on the title and description, and it'll show up on your menu. There's no recipes, there's no pricing, etc. Most of the time people are going to do theme for holidays and special events. So when I click on theme and I click on the pull down, maybe I'm having Easter come up, and now we're not changing your menu for you. We're just going to give you ideas for Easter. So when I go to my starter, for example, maybe I'd like to have Easter deviled eggs. So every category is just going to give you ideas for Easter, and you can select them if you want to, but you don't have to. So that's how you edit and change your weekly menu.